It's quite interesting. So every day we are about new development, and some of us hope say there will be some progress because it's not a program where certain characterizations we always talk negative, but we are not making any progress. It's the reason why always we keep harping on the negatives. Those are the policy table, no, or at least attempt to do something to flip the other page. Sabaya significant impact in the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian. Babi I have said it on several platforms. The Yeti is not governance; it's a criminal enterprise. Yes. Because that is what it is. Because a lot of people questioning Anas's motive for his recent investigation. Say entrapment and then as a forum. So what follow your friends as sting operations are? First, you must have your friends a certain intent. So when you sense a certain criminality has the occasion that is when you go in with some of these operations. So environment is a criminal enterprise. So on that particular basis, any person be coming up with a sting operation within that particular context and it's justified because crime and some of these things in a bit so we have governance in itself. So answer yaba appoint you obey to a public office. There are two key things that we consider globally. One, nipa no your friend is saying qualification. Qualification is not a classical rendition of what certificate as I'm maker, but I'm referring to a pool of knowledge and nipa no on a particular field. And here one of the key things that elsewhere you consider. And one key thing that Africa you put premium on the ethical and the moral competence of individuals. Because that is key and that is very, very crucial. And the captain, so what follow? Ubetimi who doctor be our core school, abubo degree, he's a doctor. Or hospital, Juma. But a point in time, moral and ethical competence may come as a failure. Nipanit Milusuna Juma may revoke ne way. But knowledge na ewe team no onya lusu yo. So but he's going home because ethical and moral competence that a person was supposed to bring to bear in the discharge of his or her duty, nipa na final humanity knowledge na wosua ni nyina no ya toagu ye mpebiem. So what it means is moral and ethical competence override any professional competence be like academic na for so ubetima a professor betima a degree betima a chief engineer so we need morals na we need ethics that knowledge obi anu a ohia. And how do we assess ye behu sa nema no some of these things and betimi aboa amayehu video na announce here no is 4 years old afena about because it was done 2018. So you can imagine, say, a deputy finance minister, can some video in Yamabontia Ghana for were calling for his dismissal on a kind of Oriatano. Not knowing that the guy was caught 4 years ago on a tape. And for all this while, he has been hanging on to a position, one of the most crucial and the most sensitive position at the finance ministry. So you can imagine the kind of criminalities are also say. So don't wonder, man, you're surprised the damage that has been caused to this particular economy because the guy was caught 4 years ago, and with that criminal mindset, that is what he has been using to dupe this particular country till date. And I am covering about one thing. Now, me say baby I babedri ye jina because the nipa na yedi tumi ahye ne nsa se omwa nanka yemfa oman he has no respect for Ghanaians, he has no respect for even his own party people, he has no respect for the many concerns being raised by Ghanaians. Because at this point menya sure say you hear your friends a motion of censure or parliament and say you can say you revoke Kino for Rata appointment and I say the deputy minister ya pam na okoi. Say, I dare say, yet your Mamuasena president, our respect for the people of this particular country. Mrs. Enka, the very moment that Ghana for Kayana, then the president will pay heed to that wise counsel and let him go. But because only a particular respect, and because to him, it's not governance and our play, because our said we see dinner bush for your family enterprise no more running, so don't be surprised. And the only he did to what is going on. And still, Kenuforiata, despite all the many atrocities the guy has committed against the economy of this particular country, he is still hanging on. And this same guy have the gut to go and sit before Parliament or could defend it. So we have motion of sense and air question. People are calling for grounds and as for go and read Article 82 from 1 to 6 downwards. Yes, Parliament, parliamentarians, so we have a significant number, that is 1/3. Now, move that particular motion. It should go through, but what we have to do is that the minister should be given opportunity, because that is the principle of natural justice. You can't hang a man without giving him the opportunity to be heard. But that particular place, you could you are only going to explain situation just to convince Parliament, but the power say censor or no, largely our parliamentarians they make that particular decision, because all kind of constitution and come by your conclusion minister before and answer why say Parliament are more representing individuals. And they listen to the concerns and the many we are for here. So the individuals no cry they don't have trust and confidence in their finance minister. That alone is a reasonable basis for Parliament to call for the minister to be removed. But it's unfortunate. What is going on? Maybe you're interested in and say, Captain William said, the backstop with the president. Because motion you go through, the president will have the last hammer to slide. And do you think what he has demonstrated? No, so motion you go through, he's not. And again, this is a sensitive issue. Ghana follow keenly. And he made mention of the comic, your friend saying, and the kind of activities going on that has characterized the whole thing. Ghana for you serious, wanting to listen to what is going on. The preliminary way there, when Tama obi the way bar, Tama you call you obi to bar, and that take the center stage, and you subsequently know or natural heckling, comedy, and as a forum. So a lot of people come who follow that particular thing with kid interest along the line, and lose interest because when we say nothing better will come out of it. Then go further to damage the already strained reputation of Parliament. Ghana for Ankasa lose hope in Parliament as an institution. Because over the years, we've been complaining about the high way, Bosnia Cassia, Yabubo, Kroma, Nema, cause some of the decisions are being taken in as a phone. Nina happen a passing through Parliament. And they couldn't stop it. So I know the institution called Parliament, over the years, Ghana for Lusu. Your friends say interest in your friends say trust you say you cannot rely on Parliament as an institution. Say idea air call against the state, now Parliament will stop it. And this particular thing going on, no, characterization air question as a comedy as for no, it justify that particular concerns of many Ghanaians. And again, Kenuforiata our certain sense of entitlement mentality. So I don't know what to say. And yes, your friend say Abanyajuma no you. He's entitled. Ne wafa adwuma ena your friends say yakofa na betena no makasa I say abusia pharmacy shop entu bo wuroma we funu ya para na wayi bi kwa na wayi de ko and obia mi so obia because after all ya wafa shop. That is the way he's running. So when you ask them to leave the shop, they will not go because he has certain intrinsic connection. That is family. And family bond, you know how difficult it is to break. So the many concerns being raised, reasonable concerns, the wise counsel being thrown out there, even from his own party people, unfortunately, he's not hidden. And the most terrible situation has happened, parliamentarians now, who did a press conference and said, oh, you support Kenuforiata should go. Now all of them, has transformed themselves into a bunch of unfortunate cowards. Whom, for whatever reasons, and they are defending, say, if the Kenuforiata should go, it should go on their own terms. What terms? What terms? Because concerns and answer many some of the points raised by the minority in Ukraine I would disagree. I say per the constitution, and Kasa Yancha Yobio, and Kasa I say through a parliament through a resolution and saying coming to a firm belief, say you want to do something. That is all. And that may be informed by concerns being raised by constituents. That may be informed by concern being raised by Ghanaians. That may be informed by concern being raised by even your friends, outsiders. This Bretton Woods institution, your economy, that particular way, can form the basis of that particular resolution. So it doesn't mean say every committed crime in Kwankeke. when people lose confidence in you, that particular alone no, can come, let parliament to come into a resolution. And what you have to hear and say, what you have to do is say, finance minister no, give me a platform to be heard. That's all. And just you could and I am striking when you been free and your court. Because that's all free say you were not treated fairly. Then you proceed to court and you fight it. That is what you have to do. But the whole court I could na yakasa same way I dey by any basis and you say you near some and the constitutional frameworks no never gave those caveats and they could dia sem na 100 for 100 bem. It is about the conviction of parliamentarians. Once they are convinced that no, your presence or your continuous stay in office threaten the democratic health of this particular country, threaten the economic fortunes of this particular country, that is enough for you to go. And you see, there are evidence abound to justify any of these things, unless you are not reasonable. Because now the many economic atrocities that have been committed against this particular country, the reckless borrowing, the borrowing spree, and the fact is or the minor Kobobosia or no one can company on the disgraced former finance minister, deputy finance minister, Yapamno, or also a company, and their advisors are there taking cuts. This particular thing is enough because a dumping public confidence, a dumping trust, and a dumping everything. And even investors' confidence. And again, look at the current state of this particular country, the economy. Your debt to your GDP, and the fact there, we are not even able to mobilize revenue. Look at the Kwaya Mfas Omoyeno. Mahu, one of the MPP MPs, is it Asante Achimnof MP? Or catch there among for say, Abra Yi level no bano. They went to voter region, a seminars, a workshop, and the MPP MPs told finance minister said no. Answer on meeting me, I caught Ghanaians in Namo Matias, they should pay it at 1%. Also, more career seniors are saying the finance minister. He never heed to their wise counsel. So it means that is who he is. So the question is why are they now in parliament defending them? That's what I'm telling you. They are just a bunch of unfortunate cowards who are defending nothing but absurdities, all in the name of partisan politics. Maybe something has gone under because while we in your parliament, there has been allegations of attempt of bribery as a forum, a bar, and the institution parliament over the years, Ghanaians hold in the high esteem, consistently, as any aid, and that is my worry because you see, all state institutions in this particular country, losing the grounds because we see public space and you want to do any inquiry about the judiciary, answer Benya is so terrible. The executive no crowd say we say adante ponko so awienti and can say because we be on my na me na de ekoya. You don't even need to argue. Then you go to parliament as an institution that is supposed to say enye certain bulwark be a protect your democracy and also because individuals are feeding fact within. They prefer say omo satisfy all to the detriment of the many Ghanaians are suffering on the street. They don't even give a damn about their constitution because we live in a country where people have respect for their constituent. I am not sure. So parliamentarians at this point will go to parliament and say if finance minister will go, he should go on their own terms. Terms bang. Because the thing say once parliament come into a resolution, the resolution is when you have a firm belief something ought to be done. That's all. It must not have any basis be a grounding in law. Once and I make us a public confidence alone, is enough. So where is all this thing coming from? Because if we say I don't know anywhere after the procedure, and I said the you can proceed to court and challenge whatever. But parliament is not the court. The constitution make allowance say you cannot hang a man without giving him an opportunity to be heard. That is a principle of natural justice. That is why he is giving him the opportunity to be heard. But no, it doesn't mean say how you could who say we had the question is